Grand Old Partisan celebrates more than 16 decades of Republican heroes and heroics. Today, I honor Estelle Reel, born in Illinois on November 26, 1862. She studied in Chicago and St. Louis and Boston before, at age 23, moving to Cheyenne, Wyoming for a teaching job. Competence while filling in for this county school supervisor led to her being elected to the job. In 1892, she was reelected. During her tenure, school buildings were upgraded. Since most of the state's teachers and school supervisors were female, the Wyoming GOP decided it would be appropriate to nominate a woman for superintendent of public instruction. Reel campaigned tirelessly by train and wagon and horse, even descending a mine shaft. One newspaper called her, quote, one of the best educated and most brilliant women in the state, equal to every duty that will be required of her in her official capacity, and it behooves every man and woman in the state to vote for her. And another wrote that she, quote, can think and act for a dozen ordinary men. She would make a most admirable state superintendent. The skilled manager defeated the populist and Democrat candidates. At her February 1895 inauguration, quote, as she faced the crowd, a wonderful cheer went up. There had been plenty of applause before, but Miss Reel received an absolute ovation. Funding increased due to her improving methods for raising revenue from school lands. She supported a standardized curriculum for both rural and town schools. Her pamphlet, Outline Course of Study for Wyoming Public Schools, was a guide for teachers. Reel also served on boards overseeing the state prison and asylum and mental hospital. A newspaper observed that, quote, she has made a good officer and is to be highly commended. Such was her success that some Republicans touted her for governor. Reel coordinated William McKinley's 1896 Wyoming campaign and attended the inauguration at his invitation. Several months later, she was delegate to a Women's Republican League national meeting. In 1898, William McKinley appointed her U.S. Superintendent of Indian Schools. This made her the first woman confirmed, and unanimously too, by the U.S. Senate. Superintendent Reel traveled more than 65,000 miles, visiting the 250 schools and 20,000 students in her charge. One trip took her by burro to inspect an Indian school in the Grand Canyon. She administered a $3 million budget and wrote a textbook, A Course of Study for the Indian Schools of the United States, Industrial and Literary. She remained in office 12 years. Quote, by education, culture, courage, executive ability, and powers of endurance, she made herself a leader in every field of action she entered. She was determined to hit the campaign trail with as much vigor and enthusiasm as the men who were running, and this showed people everywhere that women politicians could be equals with men. Back to Basics for the Republican Party is my civil rights history of the GOP. To quote the book, the more we Republicans know about the history of our party, the more the Democrats will worry about the future of theirs. For more information, see grandoldpartisan.com.